Meanwhile, in the United Kingdom, the cost of living crisis is getting worse. More Britons are in fact turning to food banks to try and ease through this crisis. And in East London, hundreds of people queued up in front of a food bank, isn't it?
That's nice though, but I don't eat it. I don't eat it. I mean, if it was, that would be amazing. He's going. Razor watching me.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to?
I think the reason why I've come to a food bank is like life now is quite difficult. I'm on a university credit, which is not quite sufficient for my own living because the inflation is rising quite quickly. Everything is going up.
The rising food and energy prices in the United Kingdom have resulted in soaring inflation. The figure went over 10% in the month of September, and this has put more pressure on the already stretched household budgets. Now, the price of vegetable oil, for instance, has gone up by 65%. Now, according to a survey, millions of Britons have been reduced to skipping meals on occasions. The situation of those on benefits, government benefits, is especially precarious, with many now saying that they are having to choose between eating or heating.
Well, everything's going up. I mean, that's why. I mean, it's quiet. I mean, like my benefits don't last as long as they did. You know, maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago.
I'm really worried for this winter. I think it's going to be.
We're seeing a lot more people that are working. We're seeing a lot more people with the fuel crisis that have never had to worry about food before or worry about the gas or electricity. So we're seeing a lot of people coming for the first time now, ever.
Now, many families who normally donated to food banks are now forced to focus on their own needs. Now, many food bank workers are just hoping for the best ahead of Christmas, but it's going to be an extremely long and a difficult winter for people in Britain.
Razor watching me.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to?
Inflation and the cost of living in the UK is causing more and more people to turn to food banks. According to one of Britain's biggest food bank networks, the Trussell Trust, a record 2.5 million parcels were given to people in crisis last year alone. And the 6-year trend isn't any better. Since 2015, the number of people needing help to obtain food has risen every year. Between 2020 and 2021, there was an increase of 33%, and the Trussell Trust says that 980,000 of those in need were children. Many are putting this rise down to the hike in fuel, energy and food prices, as well as the pandemic. But for many of those needing help, it's a first.
I think a lot of people in the situation who've never been in it before. I think I've been to a food bank once in my life, and this is now my second. I'm normally put something in the food bank trolleys when I go shopping, because but now it's my turn to have some help.
There's definitely people who have got jobs, who are working, because of the costs of living are so high now and their wages haven't gone up to meet those, then there are definitely more people who are working. But there are people who've lost their jobs.
The cost of living in Britain is forecast to soar higher in April as a tax hike is expected. For now, the number of food bank users is not likely to drop.